Hey guys, Chicago injury lawyer Scott DeSalvo here, and in today's video we're going to talk about personal injury cases settlement amounts, okay? So I get a lot of people who go to my website, I get a lot of people who call me up, and I get a lot of people who watch my YouTube channels and leave comments curious about, in their personal injury cases, what are some reasonable settlement amounts, okay? The first thing I'm going to tell you is I built a free tool on my website for anyone to use, 100% free, no obligation. I'll leave a link in the description for you. It's called the Case Cash Calculator, and it allows you in 15 seconds, literally I think there's 6 multiple choice questions. You answer the questions, takes you 15 seconds, gives you a pretty good idea, a basis for trying to understand what your case might be worth. So that's solution number 2, but I'm going to tell you generally how to figure out what the value of personal injury cases might be, right? So the first thing is workers' comp cases are usually worth less money in your pocket than third-party cases. What are third-party cases? Car crash, dog bite, bar fight, fall down, nursing home abuse, medical malpractice. The reason why is that the way you calculate damages in workers' comp is different. You don't get pain and suffering and things like that. Instead, in workers' comp, what typically happens is the bills are paid at a set rate determined by the state, and at the end of the case, you get a lump sum of money based on your hourly rate, or really your average weekly wage, how much money you bring home. That means a guy who makes 20 bucks an hour is taking home about half for the same injury compared to a guy or gal who makes 40 bucks an hour, okay? Is it fair? No, but that's the way the system works. In personal injury, we claim all of the amounts that you have lost in a lump sum of money, and the only limit is what a judge or jury will award you at trial, or, you know, what we can settle the case for if that's the decision you want to make, okay? So in theory, the sky's the limit, but it turns out that a judge and jury are a pretty good way of evaluating the value of a case. So that's the first thing you have to be aware of. The other thing is, all things being equal, there's 3 things about an injury case you need to be aware of. The first one is, can the other side claim that you caused your own injury or that you contributed to it? Because if in this state, and this varies state to state, but in Illinois, if you are found by a judge or jury to be more than 50% responsible for your injury, you lose your case automatically. That means no money. If you are less than 50% responsible for contributing to you sustaining the injury or getting the injury, then it's reduced by percentage. What do I mean? Well, if a judge decides or a jury decides that you're 25% responsible for your injury, and the jury decides or the judge decides that your case is worth $100,000, they take that $100,000 and reduce it by your percentage fault, in this case 25%. So that means your $100,000 gets reduced down to $75,000, okay? Now if it turns out that you're not at fault at all, you get the full $100,000. That's how that works, and that's why an honest assessment of your liability is important. Now that might be hard for you to do, but it's not going to be hard for an attorney to do, which is why I always encourage anybody who's been injured in an accident to get a free consultation, because a lawyer in just a couple of minutes can give you a much better idea about whether you have any contributory negligence. That's what it's called when you're partially responsible for the injuries you got. And a lawyer is able to analyze that pretty quick and give you a much more accurate answer. I'm obviously available for consultations at 312-500-4500. Anytime, day or night, you call. Phone gets picked up, we collect basic information, it goes to me, you and I can talk, okay? And then the other main factor, honestly, is time off work, how big your medical bills are, and the last factor is how permanent your injury is, right? So if somebody's got $100,000 in medical bills, it's a bigger case than if somebody has $10,000 in medical bills. If somebody can never return to work, it's a much bigger case than if they can return to work. If they have permanent debilitating injuries, it's worth much more money than somebody who was hurt really bad for a short amount of time. We all know this, but it's important for you to understand that this is one of the few areas, it seems like, where injury law overlaps with common sense. So that's how all that works. You can sit down with a sheet of paper and a pen and kind of figure that out. Was I at fault? Well, first, is it a workers' comp or is it a third-party PI, like a car crash or something? The second question is, was I at fault at all, or can they reasonably claim that I was at fault? And if so, what percent was my fault? And then the third is medical bills and time off work. And the last is, how permanent is my injury? So that's a good way for you to sit down. Again, a lawyer, you can use that little outline with a lawyer when you call a lawyer to get an idea what the value of your case is. Or again, you can use the case cash calculator, which is on my website, link in the description. Completely free, no obligation, so I encourage you to check it out. If you have any questions or any problems, I offer a free consultation. 312-500-4500. You can leave a question in the comment section below. I won't answer it in written form, but I might shoot a video explaining your question and answering your question. And I've got other great tools on my website. I'll leave links in the description to those. And finally, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. And one big favor, if you enjoyed the video and the information I gave you, if you could leave me a 5-star review on Google, really appreciate it. I'll leave that link in the description. You literally cut and paste that into your web browser. You go to the page, click 5 stars, say a kind word, hit submit. 5 seconds for you, but invaluable help for me, which I truly appreciate. So thank you so much for watching the video. I hope the information helps you. I hope you and your family are well. And of course, I always am standing ready to help you or a loved one who's been injured in any kind of accident case. So thanks for watching and have a great day.